Hey guys! So many of you guys probably already know that I'm a huge fan of the Final Fantasy series and even some other games from Square Enix like Kingdom Hearts, Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger. So when Square Enix reached out to me that they want to sponsor this video, I was really shocked. I never thought I would be playing a Final Fantasy game on this channel, let alone being sponsored by them. Anyway, the game that we are going to look at is Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Final Fantasy Brave Exvius is a spin-off of the original Final Fantasy series, which includes many of the fans' favorite characters from the series. I grew up playing every single one of them since Final Fantasy VII. I even played their latest installment, which was Final Fantasy VII Remake, which by the way, I'm eagerly waiting for the part 2. Anyone else? Let me know in the comment section who is also waiting for part 2. Anyway, seeing all these characters in one game is pretty epic and quite nostalgic. However, at first I was a little bit reluctant to try this game, because I thought it would be very different from the original Final Fantasy games, since this is a gacha game. I thought I would get bored pretty fast. But I was quite surprised that they managed to keep a lot of the elements that make the Final Fantasy games unique and fun in the first place. I'm talking about the story, exploration, cutscenes animation, strategic gameplay, and the music. They did an excellent job at keeping many of these core elements. I will go over them more thoroughly in a little bit, but first, let's talk about the story. I was really surprised by how well the story is written, which is one of the main reasons why I became a fan of the Final Fantasy series in the first place, or any RPG game in general. I really care a lot about the story, because for me, playing an RPG game is like reading a book, but that you can actually play it and be part of it. So while playing this game, I was actually quite immersed in the story. It's really well written, so I would recommend anyone who is going to play this game to not skip the cutscenes if you also want to be immersed in the story. Another reason why I really like the game is because you also had those epic cutscenes every time you launch their ultimate attack. Just look at all these epic and well animated cutscenes, just like the original Final Fantasy games. Absolutely stunning. Probably this was one of the main reasons why I became a fan in the first place. The animation just makes everything seems a lot more epic. Unlike all the Final Fantasy games, they didn't forget to include one of the most important elements in the game, and that's the espers. I can recognize most of these. I remember that some of these were quite tricky to obtain in the original game. Like Siren from Final Fantasy VIII, I didn't know I had to steal it from a boss in order to obtain her. Oh good old time. Wait, I actually sound like a boomer now. Anyway, just like the original games, this one is also a turn-based RPG. At first I thought I could just leave the gameplay by itself, just by letting it run on auto. I thought I would get bored of it pretty fast if it just continued that way. But soon, I realized that you can only do that in the early part of the game. Later into the game, you'll have to control the units manually when the bosses and the units become a lot tougher and more challenging. Which is actually a good thing, because it's kinda like letting you autoplay the grind phase, which is usually the early part of the game. And later, when you have to face the more challenging bosses, you'll have to create a strategy in order to beat them. I mean, who likes to play a game without any challenge, right? And just like the original Final Fantasy games, this game also lets you explore around the map, and there are some towns too. Some of the NPCs will have quests for you to complete, and you can buy equipment and items in the town as well. Also, there will be some hidden chests lying around, so it's important to explore the areas thoroughly. What makes this game even more enjoyable is that the music brings back the original Final Fantasy vibe, which is something I really enjoy listening to. Some days, I will have a full playlist of only Final Fantasy songs, and I will play them throughout the whole day. I mean, they really do have some great music composers. But this game not only has characters from the Final Fantasy world, they also do collaboration with other game series as well, and this time, they are doing a collaboration event with Kingdom Hearts. For a limited amount of time, many units from the Kingdom Hearts series will be available, such as Sora, Riku, and Kairi, and just by playing the game, they are giving away a young Xehanort as a reward for completing the event quest. Also, during this promotion, you'll be guaranteed to get at least one unit from the Kingdom Hearts series. By the way, I noticed that this game is not too stingy giving away Lapis, which is the currency of this game. Just by completing some maps and missions, I was given tons of Lapis, and I can use them to summon units. And during this event, summoning is a bit cheaper than usual, and after summoning 3 11 summons, you get 1 11 summon for free. Also, during events such as this, they give a lot of free summons tickets and so on. I didn't spend any money yet, and you can see how many summons I can do. I am not sure if I was lucky or not, but I think I got a really good unit. Probably the favorite of many Final Fantasy fans, I was able to obtain Cloud from the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Remember, this event is for a very limited amount of time. It ends on December 9th, so if you would like to try the game, I will say now is a good time. Feel free to download the game using the link in the description below. And once again, thanks to Square Enix for sponsoring this video, and I will see you all until the next time. Thanks.